Unconventional MBA means GEMS B School.
MBA program at GEMS, the concept is called Industry-Synergized MBA. So in synergy with the industry, we run our MBA program.
What were the fears you have in your mind?
If it does not work, what happens to all the time and money and effort that I've invested?
What makes a student choose GEMS?
First batch, they are all doing extremely well for themselves.
What kind of programs you are running?
We have MBA programs in multiple specializations like marketing, finance, HR to healthcare, event management, hospitality, travel, tourism.
What is the biggest problem with MBA education in India right now?
Degree is nothing but a piece of paper. A degree can only open doors.
AI, online learning are shaping things.
We currently have a very, very good program in artificial intelligence that we offer in collaboration with KPMG. People are positively responding. Students are positively responding to this concept. Then I said, okay, this is it.
Bangalore has become a hub of B schools. As you already know that Bangalore is the capital of Karnataka, but people from all over India come to Bangalore to complete their MBA and to learn business from the different business schools. But today we have someone who has changed the conventional MBA from a totally different MBA. And at EduVoice, we bring such leaders who are changing the way the education works. So today we have Mr. Kunal Nehruji. Kunal Nehruji, who is a chairperson of GEMS B School, who is running the show from last 20 plus years. So let's have a conversation with Mr. Kunal and let's learn how he built the GEMS B School and how he is changing the game year on year. So first of all, thank you Kunalji for accepting my invitation to be our guest on EduVoice. At EduVoice, we feature a lot of education leaders like you who are transforming the game. So thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here on your podcast. Thank you.
So first, Kunalji, can you give a short introduction about you and GEMS, like what it is about?
So I am the executive director of GEMS B School. That is my designation. And as you very rightly said, I run the show here. I manage this business school.
Okay.
So GEMS B School, Pankaj, is, like you very rightly said, an unconventional business school. You know, we run an unconventional MBA, unconventional management programs, and these are all work study programs. So we are the ones who pioneered the work study management concept, you know, in India. So that's the most important thing you need to know about GEMS. That is the differentiator between GEMS and any other business school that you see around here. So we are a business school that believes you cannot learn management only in the classroom. Management is a skill that has to be learned partly in the classroom, partly out there in the industry.
So today I'm learning in the campus of GEMS, in the park.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. A different kind of a podcast. First time
Totally different kind
for
of
you
podcast.
in
Not
our
a conventional
campus.
studio in,
Yeah.
in your campus.
Yes, yes.
So one word is unconventional MBA means GEMS B School.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So now tell me, like before you were coming today for this, what were thoughts you were having in your mind?
Well, so I received, some background of today's podcast only this morning. So while I was driving to work, I was just thinking about, what we're going to be talking and things like that. Then I came to office and then I got busy with things.
Your daily routine.
Yeah, daily routine. But I was looking forward to having a nice chat with you because I understand you are a very reputed digital marketing agency in India and only for educational institutions.
Yes.
So I'm sure, this is an opportunity for me also to absorb a lot of information and knowledge from you, because you work with so many institutions, so many schools, colleges, business schools in India. So yeah, I was quite excited, yes, to meet you and chat with
Thank
you.
you so much. I hope I will have a lot of learnings from you. So, before starting, like as we have already started, where are you actually from? You are from Bangalore itself, or you are from, like, what's your story? How did your journey begin?
So I am a hardcore Bangalorean, born and bred in Bangalore. So is my family. My parents were also born in Bangalore. Okay, so my family has been in Bangalore, I think,
Typical
for
Karnataka.
yes. Okay. So my family has been in Bangalore, I think, for almost 100 years. Including my grandfather and things like that. So I am an engineer by qualification. Of course, I also have an MBA, but I started my graduation with an engineering. About 6 months into my engineering course, I realized this is not my cup of tea. I've made the worst decision of my life by choosing this program. But then I didn't want to rock the boat. At that time, I said, okay, because I didn't want to drop out of the program and unnecessarily create stress for my parents and myself and things like that. So I somehow completed
the degree.
that program. But while I was doing my engineering, I kind of dabbled with a lot of things. For example, I dabbled with multi-level marketing. That's the chain marketing. So I used to meet with a lot of people. I used to convince them and persuade them to buy that product and get more people to join the chain and so on and so forth.
Build the chain, complete chain.
And I was pretty good at it, That's when I figured that, okay, maybe marketing, selling is something that I should do. And management is maybe an area that I am made for, That is when I realized that. Then I completed my graduation. I was thinking about what to do next, whether I should work or if I should do an MBA. And that's when I joined my father. My father was running a training company. He, back in the day, was a very renowned corporate trainer. He used to work with a lot of multinational companies. He used to run his own, learning and development organization. So I joined him. I was assisting him. That's when we got this opportunity. Somebody approached us, a university, and said, why don't you run our MBA program? While I was working in this training company, one of the programs that we used to, Pankaj, specialize in was something called a campus to corporate program. So ye jo campus to corporate program hai, what we used to do is various multinational companies like SAP and EMC Square and those kind of big names, we used to do training programs for about 2 weeks for their freshers. So in this process, we understood from these organizations, from the HR people of these organizations, that there was a huge gap between academia and industry. So what industries expected from students in the form of skills, right? They were not getting anything close to that, and neither were educational institutions training them for it. So what the educational institutions were delivering to these students in the form of knowledge and skills was, not anywhere close to the industry expectations. And therefore, the industry had to again spend a lot of their time, money and effort in training these people. Okay. Every organization we used to meet used to speak the same language. Okay? So this was registered on one side of, my mind somewhere. Then when we got this opportunity to start a business school, my father always had this dream. Dr. Nehruji, our chairman, always had this dream to start a business school. That is when we said that we should start a business school, start an MBA program, which is an unconventional program, which is not a run-of-the-mill kind of a program, and we should start a program that, aims towards bridging this gap between academia and industry. So that is where the whole, Industry-Synergized MBA. So the MBA program at GEMS, the concept is called Industry-Synergized MBA. So in synergy with the industry, we run our MBA program.
That's really cool, and that's really the need of an hour. Wherever seminars, wherever you attend any conference, education
Everyone's talking
conferences,
about it.
everyone is just talking about that the students who are like getting the education, but they are not ready for the corporates, they are not ready for the companies.
Correct,
So
correct.
everyone is talking about that, but nobody is giving the solution, that what could be the solution. We have that typical dialogue delivery in the conferences. Yes, we have to do something. So
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in the last 5 years, whenever I kind of travel to Delhi to receive some award or attend some AICT function or something like that, everybody's talking about this now. And, I feel happy to, kind of hear that. Everybody's talking this language, which is good, and we did this about 20 years
20 years ago.
20 years ago, back in 2006. I think we were way ahead of our times. We did it, and then the program took off very well. It was received very well by students.
This MLM you are mentioning, that's in your college days?
College days.
Okay.
Just, and I think that company shut down also after that. But I learned a lot.
Sales you learned.
Yes.
This is the most important.
It's the most difficult product to sell, right? When you call somebody with an MLM proposal, they stop answering your calls from the next call, right? So it was the most difficult product to sell, but yeah, I
and
learned
actually
a lot.
It also teaches you how to sell to unknown people.
Yes.
Because when you are in an MLM, I also have tried some things. So let's say you are traveling by rickshaw also, and you just start teaching him that if you have to change your life, you have to start that business. So that actually we get that sales skill, selling to unknown.
True.
So great.
Yeah.
So what was the moment or situation that first made you think that now I need to build an education institution? What was that moment?
So when we started GEMS, obviously it was a new venture, and we faced a lot of challenges initially, right? Because we were a non-entity, nobody knew us. None of us had any kind of an educational background. When I say educational background, I mean none of us had worked for an educational institution. We had no experience of running an educational institution, and to add to that, the entire concept was new. It was unconventional. So there were a lot of doubts in the minds of people. There was a lot of suspicion. There was a lack of credibility. There was a massive credibility deficit because we were new, right? So those were really challenging times. But as we started marketing the program, as we kind of got a grip of reaching out to our target audience, talking about the program and all that, I remember in the first few months, I could see that I was getting some really good positive response. Students, prospective students were responding positively. Parents were responding positively. And they were quite excited about this model. That's when I said ki isme dum hai.
Bikega
ye bikega. So that is the point I said ki chalo, now it's time to level up. Now it's time to scale up. And that is the time I knew that this is what I want to do. And also I was just 22 years old at that time. I had just completed my engineering. So I could relate to this whole program, because I was also like one of those prospective students who used to come and inquire with us and talk to us and all that, right? So I was very, very excited about it. I was very passionate about it. So all those qualities and feelings that you need to drive you to,
So you were actually living that pain of students.
Yeah, I could understand.
You could easily connect that what are the pain points.
Absolutely.
And you have built the product actually addressing those pain points.
Yes.
Because the target audience was this program was, were students like me,
So was education always your calling, or life pushed?
Life definitely pushed. If you see, Pankaj, I was if you talk to my teachers from school or college, and you ask them about what they think about me today, the fact that I'm running an educational institution, they will laugh.
Okay.
They will laugh, because I was one of those very, very notorious students. I would be the one who would get punished almost every day. I'm the guy who used to stand outside that class,
Okay.
you know, every day. So definitely, you know, an educational institution is something that I never thought about. But things took shape, and you know, that's where life has,
Life taken.
you know, led me to. It has happened.
But when you started, let's say I started, I was totally, when I started Mediagarh, I thought ये चलेगा तो चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा तो अब इतना लोन है कि घर भी बेचना पड़ेगा. So that was my story. So that was a fear. So when you also started GEMS, what were the fears you have in your mind?
Same. The same fears that any entrepreneur faces when he starts.
Okay.
You know, because there's a lot of uncertainty. You really don't know. See, you have started something with an idea, right? Now you have that fear whether this will work. You know, and if it does not work, what happens to all the time and money and
What are
effort
the
that I've invested?
consequences? Yes.
You know, I'm going to be straight away 3-4 years behind my peers, right? And after that, going and starting something else is going to be difficult. So I had all those fears,
Fears.
definitely. You know, as a youngster who had just completed graduation, who had so many other things that I could have done, right? But then once I started getting those cues that, okay, people are positively responding, students are positively responding to this concept, then I said, okay, this is it. That's the time, you know, we went all out and did it. And yes, the rest is history.
And was there any family member or mentor who was involved in all this process?
My father, you know,
Okay.
I think, see, I have never really worked after my graduation in any other organization or something like that. So while I was doing my graduation, maybe a little after that, I, you know, worked in a few places here and there and things like that, got some exposure, but no solid experience really. So my father was my mentor. And most importantly, I think he kind of gave me the platform to, you know, think freely, come up with my own ideas, you know, execute these ideas. All right. So I think that was the most important thing. Today, if I have to do something like that, or today, if any youngster who's a 22-year-old has to do something like that, he has to go and make 100 presentations, talk to 100 investors and prove himself and all those things.
Before starting only he has to prove 100 times.
Yeah, otherwise who's going to invest in you, right? Yeah, because only then somebody will come and say, okay, I like your idea, I'm willing to, you know, invest so many crores on you, and come on, start. Okay. But in my case, I think that platform was given to me by my father, you know. So yeah, so he is my mentor. Yeah.
Now tell us a story about first batch at GEMS. Like what was the experience like, and any funny moment at that time?
See, the first batch at GEMS, Pankaj, is very close to my heart because they're the first batch. Okay. And see, I was the first counselor of GEMS. You know, I was the one who used to receive all those calls. I was the one who used to call all those leads and all that in the beginning. Okay. And then slowly, as we started doing admissions, as revenue started flowing in, then I set up a team and, you know, all those things. So the first few batches, all right, the first batch, all the students were enrolled by me. So I know each one of them by name. They're all very close to me. You know, we still keep in touch. And you know, the entire GEMS family, me, we are eternally grateful to them for reposing that confidence in us, for trusting us when we were nobody, we were a non-entity.
That time they trusted you.
They trusted us.
And they trusted for their whole complete life.
Correct.
Because it was their career, their life.
And we have not let them down. You know, they are all doing extremely well for themselves, you know, and in very good positions, working with very good organizations. Some of them are entrepreneurs running their own companies. They're doing extremely well for themselves, you know. So the first batch is very, very close to my heart. Yeah.
Okay. Any funny story?
I can't.
There are a lot of
off the.
think of something. But yeah, I mean, a lot of funny things because I used to hang out a lot with them. You know, I was, like I told you, I was also a student of the first batch, right? Sometime back when we were chatting, I also have an MBA from GEMS.
Okay.
You know, so me and my brother, we both were students of the first batch. So we used to hang out a lot with them, and all those things that you would do with classmates and your batchmates, we have been a part of that whole story, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was the hardest phase, any struggling phase in building gems, and how did you come out from that?
So like I said earlier, the hardest phase of building gems was the initial phases. You know, that was the hardest phase, when we had to, you know, convince students and parents to buy our product, buy our service, despite us being a non-entity, despite us not having a track record. You know, I think that was the hardest phase. But after that, yes, there have been challenges. I think challenges are a part of every business. You know, every day you wake up with a new challenge. एक challenge खत्म हो गया तो there is another one that comes. But I wouldn't say any of these are any major challenges, you know, something that we cannot handle. So from time to time, we've been able to manage them, and we have only grown, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I think the initial phases were the hardest, but once we kind of got a grip on it, and once we started serving our students sincerely, finding them good placements, giving them good quality education, after that it was, you know, just moving up the ladder. Of course, yes, you have to reinvent yourself and all that from time to time, launch new programs and all that. So we've done all that. And
Now, it was really inspiring. I've heard a lot of things about you. Now I want some information about GEMS. What is GEMS P School exactly? What kind of programs you are running, and who is it for? What's the location and details about the programs?
so, see, the first thing you need to know about GEMS, like I mentioned some time back, is our ideology, our philosophy of management education is that you cannot learn management only in the classroom. Management is a skill that has to be learned partly in the classroom, partly out there in the industry. So it is this ideology that drives us. It is this ideology that has helped us create the kind of programs we create. It is this ideology because of which we are an unconventional business school. So we are the first business school in India to start this work study concept of management education back in 2006. So we have a lot of programs, Pankaj. We have MBA programs in multiple specializations, you know, about 12 specializations, starting with all the vanilla specializations like marketing, finance, HR, to healthcare, event management, hospitality, travel, tourism, business analytics, artificial intelligence. You know, we have all those specializations, and we have similar programs at the BBA level also, and all these programs are work study programs, right? And we also have some international programs where students do the first year of the program here, second year in UK, USA, Australia, with some very reputed universities there. So that is what we do as a business school. You know, this is what makes us stand out. This is how we are different from other business schools, which is our concept in itself is completely different. It's very unconventional. It is industry oriented.
Now, continuing that, in a market there are hundreds of B schools across India. What makes a student choose GEMS over them? And what is your real differentiator? Let's say if a student is watching this, can you explain in the basic way?
So I mean, this is a question that all students and parents ask us, right? What is different about GEMS? How does GEMS stand out, you know, and things like that. So I tell students, look, if you are, you know, asking me a question like, what is different about GEMS? Or if your decision is going to be based on this question, your decision is going to be the easiest decision, because on the one side you have all the other business schools, and on the other side you have GEMS B School. Okay, while all the other business schools and MBA programs there believe in making you sit in a classroom Monday to Friday and teaching you, okay, we say you cannot do that.
Okay.
You know, we say that you have to learn management practically for 5 days, in the classroom for 2 days, 70% practically, 30% theoretically. So if you subscribe to this, you know, idea of management education, okay, then GEMS it is. It's as simple as that. We are clearly, you know, number one in this format of management education.
And I think 2 years of that training period give them a boost, and with that they are called as experienced freshers.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, some of the you know, advantages of this model, the kind of impact it creates on the student. First thing is, from a learning perspective, because the student is doing a, you know, job related to what he's learning in the classroom, whatever is taught to him in the classroom, he's able to understand it very, very clearly with absolute clarity. You know, he's learning some concepts related to marketing. He's doing a job related to marketing. He is in a better position to understand whatever is taught to him in the classroom very, very easily, when compared to a conventional concept which is largely left to imagination, visualization. Your faculty has to help you visualize, this is how an organization is, this is the hierarchy of an organization, and what you're learning here is applied like this there. This is how it is used there with the help of case studies and this and that. So, हमारे students के लिए, you know, you don't need to do so much. They will be able to very, very easily grasp and understand what they are learning in the classroom because they are doing a job related to that. That's number one. Number two, when they go into the job market, Pankaj, they have 2 years of experience. They are not a fresher anymore. They are not a job seeker anymore.
They are experienced.
They are experienced, right? They are plug and play material. All that an organization has to do is hire them, train them on their systems, processes, product, service, jo bhi hai, for a short period of time, 1 week, 10 days, put him on the job and he will start kicking. You know, so that's a great advantage with my students because they are plug and play material. Organizations don't have to spend their time, money, effort, space in, you know, training my students, right? And another great thing about my program is my program gives students an opportunity to see 100% return on investment on their fees.
Okay.
Even before they complete their MBA, they're able to earn back every single penny they've invested in this program because they are doing a job from month one.
Yes,
you know,
true.
So, I mean, you know, that, see, MBA programs can be expensive. Most of my students study on education loans. So, this is a great, you know, relief for them. This is a great opportunity. And the last thing is, the collaborations that I have with international universities. I work with a university called University of Sunderland in UK, which is in the top 40 universities in UK presently. I work with a university in the US called Roosevelt University, which is in the top 20% universities in the US because US has a lot of universities. I work with a university in Australia called La Trobe, which La Trobe is in the top 250 as per QS World Ranking globally.
Okay.
You know, so these are 3 very, very reputed universities I work with.
Okay.
So my students who complete the first year of my MBA here have an opportunity to go and do the second year there, should they wish to choose it. You know,
Okay.
so that there are 3 gates open for them at the end of the first
For
year.
international exposure.
Yeah, if they want to, they can choose it or they can just continue with this program. So this is a, you know, very, very you know, carefully crafted program. We offer 12 specializations, you know, so it's a power-packed program. That's what I say, you know. It offers a
Now,
lot.
how do you ensure placements and industry readiness? I need to understand that model.
So, see, with respect to placements, we have a process that we follow, you know. First of all, when a student joins an MBA program at GEMS, we put them through something called a psychometric analysis. Okay. So this psychometric analysis helps the student understand what kind of a specialization he or she is cut out for based on the student's, you know, interests,
Okay.
personality, strengths, weaknesses, and also market conditions. You know,
Okay.
based on all these factors, we help the student decide a specialization first. Okay, because
On
in
day
my
one.
On day one, yes. Because in my experience, what I've seen is a lot of students, don't have, clarity on what kind of specialization to choose. They're very confused. Most of the time, they choose a specialization because of peer pressure, because the friend is choosing it, because some professor told them, because they read something on the internet and stuff like that. So, the first activity we do is to help them understand what they are cut out for. Uske baad, we do a communication assessment. After that, we train them. We give them proper exhaustive training for about 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay. Then, their interviews start, and on an average, a student takes about 3 attempts, in GEMS to get into an organization. So, this will be a placement related to the specialization the student has chosen in his MBA. And from that point onwards, the industry preparedness part starts. Okay. So, now, see, what is industry preparedness according to a company? One is that the student should have a degree. So, we offer the student a degree. Next is the student should have strong domain knowledge, which means if the student is joining a job related to HR, he should have strong domain knowledge related to HR, right? Yeah. We give them that domain knowledge. Okay. We bring down the best people from the industry to come and teach our students, and we equip them, we give them all the required knowledge they need. Next is the skills. All right. We have a lot of activities here at GEMS to help students improve their industry skills. I don't personally call them soft skills. I call them industry skills, like communication skills, confidence, presentation skills, Microsoft PowerPoint skills, Excel, presentability, grooming, ability to research content. These are all things which, somebody joining an organization needs, right? We have various activities here with the help of which we equip students with all this. Finally, we also give them 2 years of work experience related to the MBA that they are going to have at the end of 2 years, right? So, everything that is required for a student to be industry ready,
All aspects you have covered.
yes, this 2-year grind that they go through.
This first process of psychometric assessment, that you are actually guiding them and then you are getting it done.
Yeah.
That starts with the intent, that shows the intent that you want them industry ready, and that's a great step.
Absolutely. And that is the starting point, Pankaj. That is the most important thing, right? Because if you are stuck with something that you are not cut out for, you will obviously not enjoy it, because it does not suit your personality, it does not suit your strengths, right? And then that will lead to frustration. Frustration will lead to bad performance. Bad performance will lead to you not being happy, the organization not being happy. So it's a terrible situation to be in. But instead of that, if you can spend some little time to help understand what you're cut out for, then that will solve a lot of problems. It makes your life a lot more easy.
Now, this is for students. Now, what faculty philosophy do you follow? How do you hire, and what do you look in an faculty when you are hiring for the B school?
See, in GEMS, somebody who has never sold a pen in his life cannot teach students of GEMS selling. That's our philosophy, right? Our philosophy, we have a policy here
To hire
which is
people from industry.
everybody who teaches at GEMS should come with a minimum 15-20 years of industry experience. Otherwise we don't take them. Okay? So industry experience is number one. So somebody who teaches marketing will be a marketing manager from the industry who works Monday to Friday in an organization. Saturdays and Sundays comes and spends time with our students. Same thing applies to all specializations. That is number one. Number two, at GEMS, we don't have the practice of recycling faculties, which means one faculty will teach only one subject, and that person will be a subject matter expert in that. Okay, that is how we work. You will not find the same person teaching HR and marketing here. No, they are all subject matter experts. They will come teach what they are experts at and go. So this has worked very, very well for us. And other than that, we regularly bring a lot of people from the industry to come and talk to our students about things that are important for them to know as management students, but not in their syllabus.
Okay.
You know, right from analytics to digital marketing to cryptocurrency to blockchain to all those things that are trending that any professional should know. We expose them to all those things in the form of guest lectures and workshops and things like that, so that tomorrow when my students are sitting and having lunch with their colleagues and their colleagues are talking about, let us say, artificial intelligence, my students should not be sitting there and blinking. They should be able to meaningfully contribute to that conversation.
Definitely.
And that is what will get them noticed in that organization. That is what will make them stand out.
Totally relatable, totally agreed. So, how has James B School evolved in the last 3 to 5 years? Any major changes in curriculum or approach, or it's the same which you are following from last 20 years and that is unconventional and working successfully?
I mean, I would say we bring about changes every year. Why 3 years? Why 5 years? Every year. See, I am somebody who believes very firmly, the entire team here at James B School believes very firmly that, we need to deliver to our students what the industry requires, because eventually they are going to go there and work. There is no point in just sitting and teaching them what a bunch of academicians have, created in some classroom, right? That's not it. We need to deliver what the industry wants. So we keep doing a lot of new things, See, one of the initiatives that we have recently launched is, other than the syllabus, the curriculum, the guest lectures and all those things that we do for our students, we are now going to start training them on various AI tools that are used in the industry in various specializations.
Okay.
We are going to start training our students, equipping our students with all those AI skills that are required, right from building their own website, editing a video, right, to
So, you are teaching all these things to
it's important.
students.
It's
Yes.
important
Okay.
today. See, for you to build a personal brand, for you to be visible as an individual, right? See, today a lot of people are talking about video resumes, right? So you can't just take your phone and put that selfie camera on and make a video and send it, right? You need a good tool to create a nice, impressive video. Right, because that is what an interviewer or the organization will see first. See, it's like when you're hiring somebody, you see their resume before you meet them, right?
Definitely.
So the resume has to be impressive. That the resume is the one that creates that first impression. So like that, including running some small ads on Instagram to all those things I want to teach my students, because tomorrow if they want to start their entrepreneurial journey, in a small way with some kind of a D2C kind of a business model or something, their MBA should teach them all those things. Other than that, of course, yes, we're going to teach them about various HR tools that are used in recruitment, compensation management, payroll, tools in sales and healthcare and, all those things. So when my students go out into the market and when somebody sees their resume, they should be like, wow, this guy is bringing so much to the table and not just that goddamn degree. So that's what I want to do. That is the vision that I have for my students when they
It's really great. It's really
Yeah.
like commendable. Nobody is thinking on that level.
Yeah. See, it stems from a simple, thought, which is, what are you doing so much for? It is for your students to land up in that industry or to become an entrepreneur, correct? Why are your students coming to you? Let's honestly think, how many of them are coming to B schools today to learn, to gain knowledge? Okay, they're all coming because they're looking at that MBA program as a professional program, which will help them start their career. Which will help them get a job with a good package. No matter how much we, try to dilute this discussion topic saying learning, ye wo, but your
Main
target
objective
audience
MBA का यही है,
यही है, बच्चे
job,
इसीलिए आते हैं बस.
placement.
Students come only for that. They don't come for anything else. So you have to cater to what they want, right? And you cannot, nobody has a magic wand or a sure shot formula here ki you join this college and then at the end of 2 years they walk out with a offer letter with a good package. That's not going to happen. You need to put them through
Continuous efforts, 2
the
years,
grind
continuous
of
efforts.
learning.
of acquiring skills and knowledge so that by the end of 2 years, they are able to achieve what they want. See, that is what I tell my students. I meet so many students, I ask them, why do you want to do this MBA? They say, I want to do an MBA because I want to get a good job in a good company with a good salary. My next question is, what is your salary? They give me some figure, okay, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, jo bhi hai. I said, all that is possible. Okay, it's not like students are not getting those kind of packages. It is possible. But to be able to get that kind of package, this is the kind of, competency that you need to build. And to build this kind of a competency, these are the things you need to do. Are you willing to do that? If you're willing to do that, I can get you there and I can get you that package. So we need to put them through a process where they acquire all that knowledge, all those skills, everything, so that they can come there. But if they don't do that, then that's up to them.
That's up to them. Anyways, it was really good to learn about GEMS. Now let's talk about some education insights also. What is the biggest problem with MBA education in India right now? And nobody is talking about it.
See, I think what we just discussed, Pankaj, it's related to that. That is it, right? The biggest problem today is the system, institutions. I wouldn't say all of them, okay? Today there are brilliant institutions, even in Bangalore, who are doing great work. But mostly, largely, okay, the majority of them prepare students to get a degree, to complete their education, to get that MBA certificate. And they feel that their responsibility is only to, teach students that syllabus, okay, help them clear exams, clear all the exams, and finally, get positive results and get that degree, and their responsibility ends there, okay? So this is a mindset that we need to change. Okay, because what is a degree at the end of the day? A degree is nothing but a piece of paper. A degree can only open doors. A degree can only give you an opportunity to attend an interview, can qualify you to sit in front of that interviewer. Okay, that is about it. It's nothing beyond that, right? See, today, this data I'm sharing with you is about 3 years old, okay, which was shared by the chairman of the AICT in one of the programs that I attended in Delhi. 68% MBAs 3 years back, that number I'm sure has gone up today, are unemployable. Okay, which means what? They have a UGC recognized, NAC accredited, AICT approved, government chapa, marke, sab kuch. They have an MBA degree, but they are not able to find a job for themselves. Why? Because they do not have strong knowledge, they do not have strong skills. When a company puts them through an interview process, a test, a face-to-face interview, they are not able to clear it. So colleges, MBA schools need to focus on focus on preparing students to, gain the required skills and knowledge to clear those interviews and get those jobs. Okay, and companies in their interview are not going to look at your marks alone.
Totally agreed.
Correct. They are going to see what can you bring to the table, right? So that is the biggest challenge I feel. But this issue has been to a very, very large extent addressed. Pankaj, I must tell you that also. 5 years back, 7 years back, the situation was pathetic. Okay, but today I see a lot of institutions speaking this language that we have been speaking for the last 20 years, and it makes me feel really good, that this is the thing. And the next thing is that you should, kind of go beyond that syllabus and curriculum. Okay, this, I think the system also, the regulatory bodies also should give a lot of freedom to universities, institutions. They should bring in processes where approvals are fast-tracked, where it should not take 3 years, 5 years for you to update your syllabus. Today,
Totally agreed.
technology has touched every field of management. Okay, today you take, for example, marketing and sales. Right, there are so many CRMs with which people work. Something they used 6 months back, they're not using today. Something they used last year, they're not using today. Okay, so tools are changing, technology is
Things are
changing,
changing completely.
and your syllabus and curriculum should also get updated along with that. So here at GEMS, what we do is, on the one hand, there's the syllabus and curriculum which we cannot disturb, right? Additionally, we do a lot of things for our students to help them, gain these skills. So I think that is something that the regulatory authorities should do, give more freedom to educational institutions to update their curriculum, because today to go get approvals, get a program approved and all, it takes a lot of time. See, today the whole world is talking about AI, right? How many universities in India have an AI program? Tell me.
Very less.
Handful of them. That does not mean that they don't understand that there is so much of scope for AI and a program needs to be introduced. Probably, the process is on, but those approvals
They are
not
also
coming.
learning approvals and all
It
process.
takes time. So that is something that needs to change, I feel.
Now, if you have opportunity, if you could change one thing about business education in India, what would that be?
I would make all programs work study programs like mine.
Okay.
No, because Pankaj, this is a truly transformational program. I'm not saying this because it's my program. I can, give you hundreds of examples how we have changed lives, through this program. A student comes from a tier 3 city, joins this program. In 6 months, you can see transformation, right from the way they speak, the way they communicate, the way they carry themselves, even the way they dress. You know, I think a lot of credit should go to Bangalore city also for that, because it's the most happening place in the country.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel we should do that, because this kind of a concept really, uh, hits it where it needs to be. It gives students those skills that will kind of help them start a successful career in a corporate. Yeah.
Definitely. Talking to you, I feel that someday maybe I will also open a school of entrepreneurship.
Sure.
So it's really good. AI, online learning are shaping things. So we are also implementing things about AI at GEM.
Of course. See, we currently have a very, very good program in artificial intelligence that we offer in collaboration with KPMG. KPMG, one of the big fours, and that's a brilliant program. Okay. So all those students who are coming to GEMS, who are already at GEMS, can take advantage of learning all these skills by enrolling for that program. And also, Pankaj, absolutely free of cost, complimentary. Okay.
That KPMG certification is free.
Not that.
Okay.
What I'm going to tell you now, we are going to, train our students on all these various AI tools. Okay. I'm not going to go back to my students and say, hey, look, I'm going to give you something more. You pay me extra. So we, as the management of GEMS, have taken a decision that this is the need of the hour. When our students go into the market, okay, they should have all these skills. They should have experience and knowledge of working on these AI tools that are relevant to their specialization, and also some basic things like I told you, building a website, making a video, running some ads, and things like that, like advanced Excel. Jaise hum, institutions teach students Excel because you're using that everywhere. Like that, all these AI tools are going to become like that in future. So we have taken a decision to impart this kind of training to all our students free of cost to them.
Okay.
So like that, we do a lot of things here to make sure that our students are updated with the latest, trends, the latest best practices in the industry.
Okay. Now, what do companies actually want from an MBA graduate today? And how are B schools delivering that?
See, today, a company wants to spend the least amount of time,
On
money, effort on training somebody, right? So what they want is a ready-made, finished, candidate who can just come and, start delivering. And that is exactly what B schools should do. They should understand. See, of course, I understand that you may not be able to understand the requirements of 100 different companies and cater to, all of them. But in general, right, the institution should have a pulse of the market, what organizations are using, what are the skills they need, for an employee to do a job there effectively. And those are the skills that have to be imparted to a student. It is as simple as that. Okay. Sometimes your syllabus and your curriculum may not allow you to do it, but you need to do it, do it parallelly. Offer it to them as a certification program. Who's stopping you? Let's say you are conducting 6 hours of classes, keep them with you for 2 more hours and teach them all these things from a third party vendor and give them a certificate. What's stopping you?
That's good.
Yeah, that's what they should do, because that syllabus alone is really
Not working.
See, it strengthens your foundation. It's definitely helpful. It helps you understand management from a 360-degree perspective, because you do an MBA for what? To become a manager. And a manager has to understand, management from a 360-degree perspective. He needs to understand what is marketing, finance, HR, everything, right?
Yeah.
So that MBA caters to that. But for you to immediately get that job and make an entry into an organization, get a employment with a good package and good growth from there on, you need those skills that are used by these organizations.
Okay, great. Now, there is a wave of social media where we are every day just scrolling and seeing some or other person successful, and there are a lot of success toys they are showing. So nowadays, when students are just completing their graduation, they are very much confused. So what advice would you like to give to the students who is confused between doing a MBA or a startup or a job right after graduation?
The first advice I would give them is do, an MBA and a job together by coming to GEMS B School.
That's good.
So come to GEMS and do both. You can work and study. You can do a job and your MBA at the same time. Anyway, so
That's really good.
see, the way I look at it is, now you talked about 3 options, right? A job, an MBA, and a startup.
He's a confused student. He has done graduation. Now, one day while scrolling, he thinks I should start a startup. I will build my own thing. I will build my 500 crore company. And one day he's thinking, how will I do it? I don't have any idea, any experience. Let's go for a MBA. Then again, let's go for a job.
See, anybody who's looking at a job, okay, the first case scenario here, according to me, should do an MBA. Because if you do not do an MBA, your career will stagnate at some point. Okay. See, for instance, you join an organization as an entry-level employee. Okay. Let's say you join a digital marketing company. Okay. So you join as an entry-level guy. You rise up to a senior executive. Okay, and maybe a level after that. Then how long will you do the same thing? At some point, you need to move to a managerial role, where you're handling a team. Okay, that is the next level for you. You become a manager, right? And today, you cannot easily become a manager till you have an MBA. An MBA becomes very, very important for you because, like I said, an MBA understands management from a 360-degree perspective. Okay, and also for an organization to, give somebody that kind of an important position, a responsible position as a manager. An MBA is somebody who they prefer because an MBA is someone who has spent 2 additional years of his life pursuing a qualification. So these are signs that this guy is a focused candidate, a serious candidate.
Who is looking to build a career in job.
And he has done an MBA in your field, your area of, work. So there's a lot of relevance and it talks a lot about the student. So that's why an MBA is important. So I feel anybody who's looking at a job also should do an MBA. Okay, because without an MBA, you cannot grow beyond a certain point. And according to me, the best time to do an MBA is immediately after your graduation.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you are really confused whether you want to do an MBA or job, do a work study program like ours. It kind of um, caters to both your requirements, right? But an MBA is a must is what I feel. And the best time to do it is after your graduation, because once you start working, it becomes difficult to, see, you start earning your own money, you become financially independent, okay? And
then you leave that everything for 2 years. That's tough.
it becomes difficult. Most people don't feel like doing it. So that is one. Next is somebody who wants to do an MBA, well and good, they understand the value. Somebody who wants to do a startup, right? See, today we all read about, success stories of young entrepreneurs, many of them who have not even done their graduation. Examples of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and all that, is given. And there are so many other people also. I'm not able to remember some names. But do you know how many startups fail every day? See, I don't mean to sound negative here. I don't mean to sound cynical and pessimistic. We have to be realistic, right? Do you know how many startups fail today? There are so many people who start their own companies and it doesn't take off. Okay? Nobody talks about them because nobody wants to talk about, failures. That's the fact, right? So, even when you're starting a backup, you must have a plan B. When you're taking a risk, it should always be a calculated risk. It's like when you're jumping off a plane, when a skydiver jumps off a plane, right? He does not jump with one parachute. He has two parachutes. Agar ek khula nahi,
तो दूसरा खुल जाएगा.
That is a calculated risk. But if you're jumping with only one parachute, that is a risk. So you should also always take a calculated risk. So you must have something to fall back on. And an MBA is that. For some reason, God forbid, see, I wish the best to every single entrepreneur, upcoming entrepreneur who's starting his new company, startup, okay, that they should do well. I hope and pray they do well. They should all be happy, make a lot of money. Yes, all that said and done. Let's be realistic. Not everybody is going to make it, correct? Can the world coexist? Can everybody coexist if everybody is successful? No. It doesn't happen like that, right? So you need to have something to fall back on. And MBA is something which is that second parachute, which will save you in a situation like that. For some reason, things don't take off and you come back on the strength of your MBA, you can join an organization, you can start a career, and you
can start your career any day that you have an MBA degree.
So if you're starting, if you're looking at starting your own business, you should all the more do an MBA, especially if you don't have backup. Let's say you come from some very affluent, rich family and you have a lot of money to cover your back, then that's a different story, right? But otherwise, I think you must have an MBA. It'll always have your back.
Okay. Now let's talk about some student success. Tell us about a student who came to GEMS like a very little confidence, shy, and then walked out and transformed. Any story?
There are many stories. There are many stories, there are so many students who come from small tier 2, tier 3 cities, and they completely get transformed after coming to GEMS, There are so many stories like that. There are so many students who come here and, there is this one parent who came sometime last year. He came and he's a parent of a student of ours who did his British MBA program, meaning he did 1 year in Bangalore, 1 year in UK. All right. So he came to me and he just came to say hello and he said, "Sir, can you please come out with me?" I said, "For what?" Okay. He said, you come with me. He came, he took me to a brand new black MG Hector. He said, "Last month my son came on his annual holiday and he gifted me this car."
Okay.
Like that, we have so many people walking in, every weekend, coming and sharing their success stories. I have a student of mine who heads the, IDP uh, one of those IDP branches in Kerala.
Okay.
IDP is big, right? They're one of the largest overseas education consultants. So he heads one of those things. So like that, there are many stories, Pankaj. There are also stories here where students join GEMS, they meet their future partner here, they get married, have a child, come and meet us with your child. वो भी होता है इधर, So I mean, I can go on and on. I can go all day.
So, but what is the most proud you have ever felt as the head of GEMS B School? Most proud that, okay,
See,
any story like that?
I have definitely felt proud on various occasions, like on probably an occasion when we had a very good year, we did good profits. On a year or during a time when we did a good batch, we exceeded our targets. I felt proud. I felt proud when we kind of partnered with some very reputed international universities that nobody else in India is working with, and our students are
Went
across
there.
the globe. Like that, there are a lot of moments, but I think what kind of uh, makes me feel the best, or most proud, is when I hear success stories of students.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that's what gives me goosebumps. That's what that kind of leads the list of things that I feel proud about. When a student comes and says, with so much of gratitude in his eyes, that, sir, I am what I am today because of GEMS. I think nothing beats that.
Totally relatable, totally agreed.
That tops the list of all feelings.
It's the best feeling, I think, in the world.
Because that's when you feel ki theek hai yaar, you have done something.
Many people say I am finding my life's purpose. So when that feeling comes, you feel that, okay, my life's purpose is achieved. I am doing what actually I am meant to do.
Correct, right? Because at the end of the day, making money, getting your student that good placement, and all that is there. But when a student comes and says that he is really happy, he is content, and he dedicates that entire, feeling to you, saying it is because of you, that's something else. I wish somebody comes and says stuff like that to me every day. Though it doesn't happen, but yeah,
We wish for that blissful moment.
We'll strive to do that.
we'll work hard to do that. Yeah.
And what does a successful GEMS graduate look like to you? Not just on a paper, but as a person. That if they are from GEMS, they should be like this as a person.
I think a confident personality, a confident person carrying himself or herself with a lot of confidence, and having, achieved what they need to, in that stage of life, who are content, who are happy. I would say confident. That is something. So if you ask me, Kunal, what is that one quality that you see in your successful students? Like if you had to list 10 students of yours today who you feel are extremely successful, meaning they have good jobs, they're earning good salaries, they're doing extremely well, and all those things, what is that one common factor that you see in them? I would say they carry themselves with, superb amount of confidence. The way they walk into my cabin, the way they talk to me, from shaking their hands to the confidence with which they talk to me, I feel a little insecure. I'll be like, अरे यार तू कैसा आया था मेरे पास याद है, और अब तू मेरे सामने ऐसे बैठ के बात कर रहा है. So but I like that, I like that confidence, and I take pride in it.
Okay.
Because I have contributed, GEMS has contributed in shaping that personality to what he or she is today. So that I think is what you see in a GEM student. Those 2 years of experience, Pankaj, that we give them during their MBA, that is a game changer. I tell you, that's a game changer. That 2 years of experience takes care of everything.
Okay.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Rapid fire thing.
Okay.
One word that describes Gems B School.
Uh, Give me two words. I would say industry synergized,
Industry-Synergized.
which means everything that we do is industry oriented, is in sync with the industry, it's in synergy with the industry.
Okay. After all this discussion, I was thinking that one word I can tell now, that is unconventional MBA.
Ha, unconventional also. Yes.
But yes, industry synergized. Okay. The book every business student must read.
You know, you'll be very surprised to hear. I'm also a little embarrassed to say this as a, you know,
As
You
somebody
are
who's
not a
running
reader.
an educational institution, I don't read books.
Okay.
That is because I cannot read books. I cannot sit and read more than 2 pages. I've tried, I've put in my effort multiple times, it doesn't happen. But to answer your question, somebody gifted me the, autobiography of Elon Musk.
Okay.
And I read a few pages. It's a very interesting book. I think any youngster should read it.
Okay. So you are more into practical learning. That's why you're not learning from the books.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe that's a good thing. You never know.
If not an educationist, then what would you have been?
Honestly, I have no clue, because when I got into education, you know, as an entrepreneur, starting Gems and running Gems, I was only 22 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
So I did not really have the time to explore multiple things, Pankaj.
One habit that made you successful.
Yeah, so I think one of my strengths is because of which I see a lot of successes. I have a habit of doing some very, very deep research before making decisions. You know, I have a habit of deep diving into things, sleeping on it, mulling over it, in depth things को समझ के करने का मेरा एक habit है, ठीक है? And I think that has worked very well for me, and that I think would be a reason why I see some success. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I am or a B school with real industry exposure. What would you choose for your child? Tricky.
So I'd like to put it across like this. Between a B school which does not give practical exposure and a B school that gives practical exposure, obviously I would choose a B school that gives practical exposure, because this is an apple to apple comparison. But if anybody can get into an IIM, I think they should close their eyes and take it, because
Definitely.
that's a magical place. Meaning, see, IIM, ISB, XLRI, and all these premium business schools, right? The entire ball game there is very, very different, Pankaj. Meaning, the cream of the country, the brightest minds of the country, through the process of cracking the CAT and all those exams, getting those high percentiles, they reach there. The brightest minds of the country reach there. And organizations that are looking for the brightest minds of the country, the cream of the country, are willing to go there and pick them up at a premium. So that is the place to be in. You know, that is the place where you can, you know, your career can take off. So anybody who can get into one of those premium B schools, the reason why I say can get into, because it's not easy to get into those premium B schools and they have limited seats. So if anybody out there can make it there, they should not, you know, even bother about the conversations that we're having. They should straight go there.
Okay.
Because their life is made.
Now, biggest lesson from your biggest failure?
See, I don't think I've had a very big failure until now. Touch wood. You know, I hope something like that doesn't happen. But I have had a lot of small failures, right? There are, you know, see, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you keep trying a lot of things. Some things succeed, some things don't. Okay, the ones which don't succeed are your failures. You know, you need to learn from them. You need to see where you went wrong, you introspect, and you know, you use those learnings in your future you know, projects and things like that. Like that, I've had a lot, you know, right from programs I've launched, to centers I've started, to people I've trusted, to everything. I have my fair share of failures, definitely, and learnings, yes.
Now let's talk about something related to admissions marketing. Now we'll talk about marketing.
Yeah.
Gems we have discussed a lot. Now, every MBA college today is running ads, generating leads, spending lakhs, but very few are converting to admissions. So what do you think? The real question is like, is the problem marketing or the way they are doing marketing?
See, first thing is, do they have a good product? Do they have a product that solves a problem, right? Because today students come to you with a problem, which is what they want. They want to start a successful career. They want a job with a good package. So let's generalize it as a successful career. So that's their problem. So are you solving that problem for them? Do you have a product? Do you have a program that effectively solves that problem? So that's point number one. Now, if you have a good product, then great. Next is, you have to do marketing. There is no doubt about it. Even if you have the best product in the world, you need to go out there and tell people that, look, boss, I am this company, I have a product, and these are the problems that this product can solve for you. So, wo communication hona chahiye. Otherwise, how will people know? So, marketing is essential. And today, there are 100 people doing the same thing, offering, a good product, offering a product that solves your problems. So how are you going to stand out among those 100? So you need to have creative marketing. So you need to drive your communication, you need to drive that message, you need to drive that narrative in a creative, attractive way. Only then will you get noticed. Only then somebody will click on your ad and go into your landing page and check you out. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. So, yes, absolutely important. You need good, creative, effective marketing today. Just some marketing is not going to help you. You need good marketing. Yeah.
Good marketing. Okay. And how are you driving admissions at GEMS? Like what sources you are using right now?
See, I have now in the last, I would say about 7 to 8 years, completely moved to digital marketing only.
100%.
100%. I don't do any other medium but digital. I don't work with consultants, and all the admissions we do is purely, on the efforts of digital marketing only. That's what we do, and that's getting us results.
And what are your top 2-3 channels for digital?
See, my top channel of admissions would be my own referrals, where my current students are referring students, my passed out students are referring students, and all that.
Okay.
But talking about digital, I would say Google search, Instagram, these are the top two. A little bit coming from YouTube and some, other GDN kind of platforms and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now you had a breakdown like how much from offline, how much from referral. So generally digital, how much percentage digital contributes? Approximate average.
I would say about 60%. 40%
60%.
comes from referrals.
Okay.
60% would come from digital.
Completely from digital.
Yeah. Because marketing, I do only digital. I don't do anything else.
Okay. Now speaking about funnels, see digital marketing everyone is doing, but they are not having the clarity on how to set up a funnel or how to set up the complete thing. Now I want to understand your funnel. Like once a lead comes, what happens next?
So, once a lead comes in, we try to reach out to the lead as soon as possible. Of course, we have some automations and things like that, where immediately a link goes to the student and they can create an account on our CRM, and all those things are there. But somebody talks to them as soon as possible, give them the information, and then after that we take them to after that we do multiple rounds of follow-ups. We find opportunities, occasions to talk to them, right? We use a lot of innovative methodologies to reach out to them through different kinds of messaging and things like that. And then, we get them to purchase the application, take up our entrance test, finish a personal interview. So we have our own process of nurturing that lead, starting from that lead stage till.
So that is a structured or mostly just follow-ups?
We have a CRM that we use, so I think it's pretty structured. Yeah.
And how important is counseling in your conversion process?
Very important. Very important. I mean, I always tell my counselors that you are not sitting here just to give information. That's not your job. You need to really understand the requirement of the student, educate him about the various options, right? And where so let's say you choose a specialization. What is the kind of career you can have, in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? So you need to give them a lot of information. You need to counsel them, and at some point you need to also guide them. So we have different levels. We have a counselor and then a manager. I also do a webinar. I personally, maybe the founders you meet with, they this may sound strange to you, but I spend a lot of time meeting students, prospective students, present students, and we have a culture in GEMS where anybody can walk into my office anytime. They don't need an appointment. They can just walk in and meet me, and even if I'm doing something else, the first preference is given to that student, because I believe that meeting prospective students, meeting present students, the kind of insights you get there, you don't get it otherwise. So you should really know the pulse of the student. You need to know what their expectations are, what is bothering them, what are their pain points, what are their
So
expectations.
still from the last 20 years, you are still living that thing which you had lived for the first year.
Yes.
Living the student.
All my students have my number. All the students of GEMS have my phone number. They can call me, they can message me on WhatsApp. That's how it is. I don't try to shield my self. And even with prospective students, once every 3 months I do a webinar where I talk to them about various programs of GEMS, and most importantly, I interact with them. They ask me a lot of questions, I answer them. So it helps me stay connected with what is really happening in the market. What is the psyche of the students, what is the pulse of the students, how they think. It helps me do that.
Okay. Now, in the funnel, where do you think most students drop off?
That's during the admission stage, you mean? I think just before the application stage, so students leave a lead, my counselors start talking to them, they give them all the information of the program, they help them understand how it works. So whoever has to drop out, they drop out in that stage. What I have seen is whoever comes into the application stage where they pay that application fee and create a login and come into my system, I think I'm able to see like a good 90% plus conversion from there. And again, we are not like one of those institutions that tries to monetize applications. We are not like that.
Okay, our application is free.
No, we charge for applications, but we don't do campaigns just to sell applications. We don't do that. So we nurture these leads and we bring it to a point where we know that the student is interested. Then we send him a link saying, this is the link where you can purchase the application and come into the system. So that's why I'm able to see like a good 90% plus conversion, from my app, because most of them who purchase an application finish my entrance test, finish my personal interview, and then end up taking admission.
Okay. And most colleges don't lose students at ads. You see at the initial conversation, they are interested, but they lose them in follow-ups. What do you think?
Very true. Follow-up is very critical. If institutions don't realize that, if they don't fix that, then they're not even in the game, I would say. They need to have a proper team to do the follow-ups. Of course, see, follow-ups today also are looked at by students, as some kind of a torture. Because there are so many institutions.
And they also have filled their leads in multiple institutions.
Places. And then you have all these various platforms where they just, take all the leads and give it to everybody, So the moment you call them, right, and say, hey, are you interested in MBA? They cut the call. That's what happens with most students today. So follow-ups also has to be done in a very subtle way. you know, the messaging and all those things. So follow-ups is very, very important, you know, and without follow-ups, they will forget you, because there are so many institutions today, so many programs, out of sight, out of mind. You have to keep reminding the student कि अरे यार मैं जेम्स बी स्कूल हूँ मुझे भूलना मत kind of
Okay.
thing.
And what is your biggest frustration with marketing today?
I think this whole you know transformation that platforms like Google and Instagram and all have gone through in the last 2 years, you know, their algorithms changing and this, that and all that. I think that's very frustrating. It's not as simple and straight as it used to be, you know. CPLs have gone high, your extremely high, your junk percentage, you know. Today, there are so many people who answer calls and say that I'm doing my 8th standard, I'm doing my 10th standard, I never inquired. This kind of a percentage used to be very low earlier, you know. See, Google search is a no-brainer. It's not complicated, right? It's very simple and straight to run Google search ads. But वहाँ पे भी इतना junk, you know. Though, and you're running it only on search. You're not running it on
Performance Max or partners or
Performance
nothing.
Max, nothing.
Purely search. No discovery, that there's nothing. But still, you know, so that is a little frustrating. But I think now, this season, it has settled down a bit. The quality seems to be slightly better.
Okay.
Let's see.
And do you also feel that you are spending more but getting less?
Spending more, getting less, yes, I do feel.
Maybe we can say acquisition cost or...
Yes. In the last 2 years, that certainly has been a feeling. But I wouldn't attribute that only to, you know, digital marketing or the quality of digital marketing strategies and all that. Also, the market is very, very rapidly changing. You know, the MBA market, right? So, preferences of students and things like that. See, I'll give you a simple example. We have a program called the British MBA. First year in Bangalore, second year in UK. We have a program called the American MBA. First year in Bangalore, second year in the US. Okay. Now, this particular program, the American MBA, has taken a big hit. Okay. Because students are not getting visas to the US easily. You know what is happening in the US, thanks to our friend. So, now, this is a market condition, right? So, there are some factors like this also, because of which, you know, your admissions get affected. No amount of, you know, efforts you put on digital marketing will be able to get you the same kind of results. So, there are a lot of factors, but yes, you know, in the last 2 years, not only me, I think every business school has this feeling that they are paying more than what they were earlier for the kind of results they are getting.
Okay.
Because they're all my friends and, you know, we know each other and things like that. Yeah.
Now, what do you think? Now, let's take some agency fact check. What do you think that most agencies get wrong about education marketing?
I don't know. See, luckily for me, I think GEMS B School was one of the very, very early adopters of digital marketing. We have been doing it for many years. Like, I started my social media, you know, pages, that like my Facebook page and all, I think in 2008. You know, and after that, from 2012 or something, we started doing some digital marketing and all that. So I think that way we have been a little lucky with having good people to run our campaigns. But I think strategies is the most important part about digital marketing. You need to have the right strategy to reach out to the right audience. The messaging must be clear, you know, and there should also be, you know, I think it's the strategy
Part.
You know, more than your see, of course, yes, your creatives are important. You should spend enough money. You cannot, you know, run your campaigns on 500 rupees per day and expect great results, right? And you should you know, be aware of the trends, right? So today, for instance, UGC videos are something that everybody uses and they are delivering good results. So you still cannot be running static ads. You need to, catch up with all that is there. But I think the right strategies are important to target your audience, and you need to. And I think the most important thing is, Pankaj, I would say you need to keep trying new things. That's very important, is what I feel. You need to keep on, while on the one side your campaigns are running, that's delivering results. On the other side, I think you need to keep experimenting, you need to keep trying new ideas, and it works or it doesn't work, that it'll be a learning.
Keep on trying.
You need to keep trying some new strategies, some new ways of targeting. I think that's important. Yeah.
And as an education institute owner, what kind of support you feel that you should get from agencies, whatever agency you are working, and as a digital marketing agency, what kind of support you feel that you should get, that you also feel delighted, we can say?
I think they should check my dashboards every day. They should keep watching my campaigns like a hawk to see patterns, to see trends. That is very important. Sometimes what happens is they lose track of things, and then we do a review after a long time, and then everything has gone haywire, CPLs have shot up and things like that. I think that is the main support. And I think in the present day, I think frequency of creatives and all that need to be more, and all that. But I think keeping an eye on your campaign. I don't know. I mean, you should tell me how practical that is.
I feel that I can relate to that, but I want to understand from a institute owner's perspective.
Yeah. So for me, I think that is so. If that's the one thing I keep telling my agency, keep tracking my campaigns, keep watching my campaigns, and I think they should do regular reviews. And I also think that the institution's involvement should also be significant. The thing is, the institution is the one that knows best about its story.
Totally
right?
agreed.
And you should not just engage a digital marketing agency and say, chalo, get me admissions. It doesn't work like that. You need to work together with the agency. There needs to be dialogue. You need to work closely with them, and you need to keep updating them about what is happening in your campus, what is the pulse of the students. Because today, a digital marketing platform can be used for so many things. Like we use LinkedIn to engage with our alumni. They are not our admissions. They are not getting any revenue for us, but we engage with them through LinkedIn, So like that, I think working closely with the agency for an institution is also very important.
Very important.
Yeah. That is when I think most problems arise. Suddenly you just, wake up 6 months later and you say, come on, give me all the details. इसका CPL इतना high क्यों है? इस पे आपने इतना क्यों spend किया? That's not the right.
Review meetings.
Yeah. So there have to be regular review meetings. There has to be a lot of involvement, and involvement not only in terms of doing reviews, but also, shaping your brand. Any new idea you get, talk to your agency, tell them, let's do a post or a few posts that, addresses this issue. Like that. I think in my personal experience,
Okay.
up to you're just very innocently sitting and listening to me while you know everything.
I'm just learning from you.
Because you're an agency yourself, you do so much of work for so many clients. So I should be asking you these questions.
No, you are totally giving the right insights. So now, what do you feel? Leads don't fill classrooms, systems do. What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely. See, your lead has no value if it is not nurtured properly. And to nurture a good lead and bring it to an admission stage, you need good systems. So obviously there has to be a good system, and you should also have a good product. Like, your product should be good to support those to support your counselor. So when your counselor talks to a student and says, I'm calling you from this college, this is my program, the program should be strong, the brand should be good, there should be good reviews from your students. All those factors, तो वो जो brand का pull होता है ना, as they say, That should also be good. So the institution also has to parallelly work on that. You cannot just engage the best marketing agency, Mediagarh. Come on, I'm giving you so much money, you get me leads तो आप दे देंगे, पर convert करने के लिए मतलब landing page थोड़ी देख के बंदा admission लेता है. They look at a lot of other factors. Placements अच्छा होना चाहिए, students के reviews अच्छा होने चाहिए. Classes, your classes, the quality of your faculty, teaching, everything has to be good.
Okay. Great.
It goes hand in hand.
आई थिंक आपने काफ़ी कुछ बता दिया. ये बताइए आपको मीडियागढ़ के बारे में कितना पता है?
पता है मुझे, मतलब मैंने आपके वीडियोस देखे हैं where you are getting out of your car and talking, getting out of your cabin and talking. I've seen those things. So that's how I got to know about Mediagarh. But yes, like last time you asked me, why did you not reach out to me? Because there was no need.
ये क्वेश्चन मैं काफ़ी लोगों से पूछता हूँ कि why you have not booked the meeting?
Because I did not have a requirement at that time, but now that we have done this podcast, I'm sure sometime in future we will work together on something,
Okay.
and but I think you're doing great work, and from all the testimonials that I've seen of your clients and some big names you're working with, so I think you're doing a wonderful job. I think you're adding a lot of value. नहीं तो इतना आसानी से clients testimonial nahi dete hain. So which means you're doing a great job. So I'd like to wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. Any message you would like to give to people who are thinking of collaborating with Mediagarh?
I think you can go for it, because see, I would look at this in a very simple way, right? I run an educational institution, correct? You are a digital marketing agency. So you have been able to effectively track me and reach me on a social media platform. So if you can do that for your brand, I don't see a reason why you cannot do that for an educational institution to reach their target audience. That's the main thing now. There is a product, there is a person in need of that product. Okay, these two people have to meet. That's point number one. And when you are able to reach me, right? See, reaching students, I feel, is a lot more easier because there are so many people, searching out there for educational institutions, searching on Google and Instagram. It's a large audience. तो ऐसा एक large audience को reach करना तो बहुत आसान है. लेकिन educational institutions के owners को reach करना, it's a very small audience, है ना? तो आपने उसको effectively किया है. तो I don't see a reason why you will not be able to help anybody who wants to collaborate with you in reaching their audience. So my message to anybody who's looking at Mediagarh is go for it, and I have personally seen the kind of work you do for some of your clients, and I've seen a lot of testimonials of your clients. So I'm pretty impressed, and I'm sure you'll add value to any institution that collaborates.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyways, मज़ा आया. मुझे आपसे काफ़ी कुछ लर्निंग सीखने को मिली. सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट लर्निंग मुझे लगी कि आपने जो एक तो चीज़ जो आपने पूरा बैक ट्रैक कर दिया कि आपने पहले स्टूडेंट की प्रॉब्लम क्या है, जॉब है तो जॉब कौन देगा? कंपनी देगी. तो क्यों ना पहले कंपनी के पास ही जाया जाए. तुम्हें क्या चाहिए तुम बताओ, वैसा स्टूडेंट मैं ला के दूँ, वैसा एम्प्लॉय मैं आपको ला के दूँगा. तो आपने वो चीज़ की. सेकंड चीज़ जो आपने की कि आपने स्टूडेंट के पेन को जिया खुद उस टाइम से. और उसको आप आज भी जो कर रहे हो, क्योंकि इंस्टीट्यूट जब आप 20 साल बाद जब आप एज ए इंस्टीट्यूट ओनर कितना भी कह लो, उसके पक्ष एक मर्सिडीज़ तो होती है. जब आप उस मर्सिडीज़ में बैठ के चलते हो तब आप कहीं ना कहीं उस स्टूडेंट से डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाते हो. तो जब आप वहाँ पे नहीं हो, आप कह रहे हो कि हाँ मेरा तो कोई भी स्टूडेंट मेरे रूम में आ सकता है, आज भी मेरे से बात करता है और आज भी मैं उनके पेन पॉइंट्स को समझता हूँ. आज भी मैं अगर खुद पर्सनली काउंसलिंग ले रहा हूँ, डिस्पाइट अब तो इतने सारे काउंसलर्स टीम में हैं, सब कुछ है. तो आई थिंक दैट्स द बिगेस्ट लर्निंग फिर उसके बाद फोर्थ इम्पॉर्टेंट वेबिनार के लिए आप किसी को भी हायर कर सकते हो, 2 महीने में वो रेडी हो सकता है, वेबिनार वो खुद ले सकता है। और वो वेबिनार खुद लेगा तो एक सिस्टम हो जाएगा कि हर 10 दिन में हर वीकली वेबिनार हो रहा है। बट वो वेबिनार भी आप खुद ले रहे हो और खुद आप वो एनर्जी एक्सचेंज कर रहे हो एक स्टूडेंट के साथ। आई थिंक मतलब फिर उसके बाद सक्सेस नहीं मिलेगी तो फिर कहाँ जाएंगे?
आज भी, I can show you my phone. There are 3 students who have messaged me in the morning saying, Kunal sir, I want to collect my mark sheet. Kunal sir, my exams are pending. Kunal sir, some other issue. They can easily call somebody in my team to talk about this issue, but they feel comfortable to write that message to me. So that is how accessible I have made myself. That is how, that is the liberty I've given them, ki you can reach out to me whenever you want to. So I think that is very, very important. It helps you understand, what your customers are actually thinking, how they feel, what's in their mind. That's very important. And if you can create a system where you can take out some time to do that, despite all the other meetings you do and all that, I think that's wonderful. I would advise every educational institution owner to do that.
Definitely, that's a need of an hour. Yeah. So thank you for giving so much insights. I would love to connect with you again and would love to have more energy exchange.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure.
I hope you have learned a lot many things from our gem of Gems B School, and definitely you can also implement in your education institutions and learn lot of things. Thank you.